because
Oh,
you just left prison and you're like out here. You have the freedom to do a lot more than in the inside. But we're also in the middle of a pandemic, so what are you doing?
well, with the exhilaration of being out, it was really hard for me for almost 6 months. Actually, not even 6 months, about 4 or 5 months that to really take it in. Everything was completely new and fresh to me. So first you've got the phone. That's a mystery within itself for me. And plus I got a tablet, a really cheap tablet. I didn't buy this stuff. My brother did for me. And there's the part of trying to learn to drive a car again. Not having had a license for 30 something years was like not ever having a license. It's not that I didn't remember how to drive a car. Heck, inside I was driving a front end loader at times at the job that I had. So I knew how to drive, but to drive with rules and boundaries, to understand defensive driving, that was a new thing.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean, I'm assuming obviously the technology, even in the vehicles and the vehicle, they all changed.
they do.
So I'm assuming that all was like what?
Hmm.
Now we have all these fancy screens. When back then we had, I want to say it was CDs, but it might have been cassettes. I have a hard
It
time
was
understanding
CDs.
how old
It
you
was
are.
the CD era. They were just coming out and stuff like that. But cassettes are what I knew. Cassette tapes. And then there's so many things that come along. First of all, I had to remember because I had spent a number of years working on my recovery inside. When I say working on my recovery, there's a lot of 12-step people out there that will immediately think, oh, he was in prison, so he couldn't. That's not true. Okay. I can promise you that from the day I was arrested until the day that I got clean and sober in 1997, okay, I was always able to get drugs and alcohol. There are very few days that I did not until I got clean because I learned how to. I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. If there's a way, I have a will. Okay. So there's the point of trying to work on my recovery being getting out. There's also employment. There's also learning how to deal with, I have to get over some hurdles. Again, thankfully, in the county that I was in, I was able to take little steps towards this. My first job was demoing a business that needed, so I got paid cash and having a different work ethic than people on the outside, which I didn't realize. I had built up a work ethic inside that people on the outside didn't always have. I was told by my employer after 3 weeks that I had outworked two other people doing the same job that had taken 2 months. I finished the job and I was getting paid like $9 an hour, but I didn't care because I was in prison making $1 a day at the most.